Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal astrology forecast for Sunday, May 24th, 2020. All right, so we just had that new moon on Friday, so still a time of new beginnings, great time of setting intentions for the lunar month. We are still in the lower energy phase of the cycle, so maybe starting to build some momentum and implement some new things here can be a great way of working with this Sunday. Now the moon will still be in Taurus for most of the day, so still good for cultivating that more resourceful side of ourselves, cultivating our inner strength, resourcefulness, and maybe even connecting to the external resources of life like nature, beauty, aesthetics. Great way of working with this lunar month. Now going into tomorrow, we have Mars sextiling progressive Uranus. So good for maybe taking action in new ways we maybe normally wouldn't. Great for thinking outside the box, challenging the status quo with our self-expression a little bit. Great to get into that future-oriented and progressive side of ourselves, at least available with this aspect. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when I return. All right, so here's the sky for this Sunday. Now, normally we do the whole weekend, but in this case, we just had that new moon forecast, which took us through Saturday. So we will be doing Sunday as an individual day here. So again, we are using the actual size of the constellations as seen in the visible sky, which is different from mainstream astrology. So if you are new to the channel, you will notice the signs are different. Like, for example, you may have been expecting me to say that that new moon was in Gemini for May. But in fact, if you look up at the visible sky, you will see the sun in Taurus and the moon still finishing Taurus here today. So still a time of new beginnings with this new moon energy. Great for setting intentions for the lunar month. Planting a bunch of seeds right now is a great way of working with it, right? Because a lot of these things we plant or intentions we set will slowly start to build momentum as we go into the coming weeks. But right now it's still a good time to be flexible, experiment, right? Plant a bunch of seeds and then see what maybe starts to arise around the corner. So with this, it is about resourceful Taurus. In fact, the moon will be in Taurus for most of the day for most of us. And so still a good time of cultivating our inner and outer resources, right? Taurus the bull is what this lunar cycle is about, which is developing the steady, grounded elements of ourself, inner strength, self-reliance, resourcefulness, and also focusing on the external resources as well. Maybe aesthetics, beauty, nature, comforts, right? The grounded elements of life, really good to develop for this whole lunar month, but maybe particularly today as we still do have the moon finishing Taurus. But as the day does unfold, especially if you are further west, you'll likely start to feel the Gemini energy the later part of the day, taking us into tomorrow. Now, Gemini, the twins, is more of the mental and practical aspects of things. So maybe the later part, good for learning, using our minds, maybe sharing and exchanging with others, getting into some synergy, right? And this kind of practical stuff of exchanging either mentally by learning, communicating, or just, exchanging with others. It can be a great way of working with this very flexible, adaptive, and curious energy of Gemini. So in terms of the aspects here today, the most important thing is that as we get into tomorrow, we do have this sextile between Mars and Uranus. Now, sextiles aren't major pushes. We don't feel them that strongly, but they are openings. And in this case, going into tomorrow, there is this opening or this opportunity to use this energy. Now, Mars is our more assertive and direct side in good harmony to Uranus, our progressive and future-oriented side. So great day going into tomorrow for maybe experimenting with new ways of taking action, of asserting ourselves, of expressing ourselves, right? Good to get into some of that progressive, freedom-loving, eccentric, unique, and different kind of energy. And if there is anything you do want to put action into that maybe is Uranus related, Uranus rules things like technology, community, the world at large, this progressive stuff could be also a great way of working with this. But all in all, just a great day for this opening to experiment, get outside of our comfort zone a little bit with things that excite us, things that we maybe want more freedom with in our life, or maybe it's just different and outside of our comfort zone, can be a very supportive way of working with this energy, especially because the two planets involved are in swapped signs. We have Uranus in Mars's constellation of Aries, and we do have Mars in Uranus's constellation of Aquarius. So lots of support here, which each of these planets being in each other's signs makes it very supportive, I think, for, again, uniting that progressive visionary side with our direct and assertive side and initiating side with Mars. All right, so that's the day in a nutshell. We do have the moon passing over some of the planets that we do have in Taurus. The moon will be passing over that Venus retrograde. So again, still a good time of, going back and re-examining some of our values. What are the things we enjoy in life, and experimenting with some of these things. Moon over Mercury, again, could emphasize some learning or communication today. Maybe, again, good to get some of that practical energy, especially as we do get into the later part of the day. And we are going to be approaching with the full moon a lunar eclipse, at least a very partial lunar eclipse. So we're starting to get into the north and south node energies with the sun and moon. So recognizing that this could be an important month for making some shifts and changes along our life journey, along our life path, and maybe we could get some insights with that today with the moon passing over the north node. All right, but the most important thing is that we just started this new lunar month. It's still early. Great time is slowly building some intentions and momentum, and especially if it is around cultivating our inner and outer resources of Taurus. Taurus the bull is that inner strength, resourcefulness, and external resources. Really good to develop at this time. All right, so everyone have a fantastic Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily videos, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the daily forecast. Take care.